Oh! Sorry, I did not see you come in. It is me, once again, Artemis Underhill, practicing some of the words that I can find extremely difficult, especially when you listen to people like Lief. You know what I mean? Now, where were we when we last left off? No, it wasn't there. Oh, yes! Finally, our intrepid adventurers have a quest. To retrieve the Loremaester's staff, they must journey far into Theldan and retrieve it from the Last Man's Spire. This, my friends, is where the interesting events begin to happen. Who do they make friends with? What enemies do they create? What choices will they make in order to retrieve the staff and complete their quest? Well, looks like we're in for a fine adventure again. Let's listen and see what happens. You guys travelled for the rest of the day deep into the mountainside. You had a comfortable ride all the way. Your dragon tail swishing in the wind. Every now and then you'd hear the annoying sound of singing coming from somewhere. You think you know where, but you're not entirely sure. Probably from Lief's direction, as he every now and then just unsheathed his little dagger. And then made sure he had his real dagger on his side. As we proceed through the forest, on the second day of your adventure, you finally stop again. The night air is cool and refreshing. You haven't seen anybody on your journey just yet. You're in a quite remote area of the mountains. On the horizon, you can see what looks to be a small town, but you've chose to stop and rest before you proceed, as the hunters of the shadows are a little bit to the east. So you've stopped at a small glade. You've prepared your things. The horses have already... You've noticed some weird things about these horses. They kind of, the moment you get off them, they just go do their own thing, and they're very organised, and they come back to you the moment you need them again.
They're video game horses.
They're probably better than video game horses, let's be honest.
Roach. Nope, Roach is where to be found.
You stop for the night. Cornelius starts flicking through books in his bag. Lief is stood over to one side of the glade, talking what seems to be to himself, but you've realised he has a bit of a routine of talking to his book throughout the day. And Charlidros is cooking what looks to be a nice load of sausages with a bit of bread.
Man's meal, lads. Sausages and bread. That's all you need.
Sounds good.
As the teenage boy just continues reading through the books, flicking through. Night quickly draws close, and you've gotten to a decent routine of deciding... Well, it's not really deciding. You have like a small squabble over who's going to be on watch first and who's going to watch after that. So, my gentlemen friends, who's going on watch this evening?
The owl.
Yeah, we could do it that way, if you want.
Sorted. Night. See you later. I'm going to sleep. I roll over. Where's my bed? Where am I?
We're in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a bed.
Do I have a rucksack?
You have a bedroll.
Oh, I got a bedroll? Right, well, wherever I'm...
You'll be sleeping just here, a little bit away from everybody else, as the other two are kind of sat around the fire currently.
Brilliant. I lay down in bed.
You lay down and bed. You lay down in bed. That's Tasmanian for you. What of the...
I've never heard of this Tasmania.
How does that owl even work, Cornelius?
He is an owl. What else do you need to know? He communicates with me telepathically. It's cool and stuff.
I turn my head over, I open my eyes, turn over and go, come on, man. You've never met a telepath?
Not to my knowledge.
I roll back to bed.
You are some help, Lief. Appreciate the input.
The night continues, and for the first time, Lief had a decent idea of letting the owl go on watch. As you all roll over, do you all go to sleep straight away?
Is Lief eating in his sleep as well?
You hear chobbled nuts or something like crunches coming from over in his bed.
My sausages aren't good enough for you,
What?
half-elf.
You didn't offer me any sausages.
Sausages were a free-for-all, mate.
I got a midnight snacking problem.
So your drinking problem.
Well, my drinking problem's a completely separate issue. However,
You weren't supposed to hear that. That was said under my breath.
After a very bizarre set of events between the half-elf and the draconian, you all drift off to sleep.
Leave you to it, kid.
Yep. Night.
About halfway, about a couple hours into the night, Cornelius, you get a sense of uncertainty creeping into the back of your mind as you hear the word intruder be projected into your mind by that comforting noise of the owl. Intruder!
I wake up and I look around.
I'll get you to make a perception check for me.
20.
You look around, and in the cluster of trees just across from the campsite, you see what looks to be 3 women. Leaves seem to fly around them and collect around them and spiral through the air, as you feel that there is no wind in the air, though.
I just carefully watch them and slowly wake Charlidros awake.
why him over me?
There's a clear reason for that. Charlie, you feel a bit of a little bit of a nudging sensation in the top of your head, as you can feel a small foot almost kicking you in the top. As you wake up and you see a pale white Cornelius staring into the direction of the forest where you see these 3 women.
There's 3 women in the forest in the middle of the night. That doesn't seem like a good sign to you, does it?
Oh, good. Are they attractive women?
They got flies around them, so probably not.
They've got
Flies
leaves.
around them.
Leaves. They've got
leaves.
leaves around them.
Kid, can your owl get a little closer to them? See what they're all about.
Yep. Can I get Benedict to go have a closer look?
Yep. Benedict Owlerbach hops up and flies over. The wind seems to grow stronger as he flies above them, and he seems to struggle for a second before he sits back down. And that familiar, soft, whimsical voice in your head once again goes, "Well, that wind's a bit."
Apparently the wind's a big. So, in my
Particularly
expert
helpful
opinion, it
owl
sounds
you have there.
sounds like they're magical. In my expert opinion,
Opinion.
yeah.
The 3 girls, as you watch, they seem to almost dance between the trees. Their motion is very fluid, and it doesn't look like there's any resistance in the world to them. Trees almost bend slightly around them to let them pass by as they dance and continue to saunter off through the trees.
So they don't notice us at all.
Make a perception check.
6.
6. You don't fully know if they're aware. You do see every now and then one of them looks over, but you're not quite sure if that just is a coincidence that they're looking towards you or if they actually know of your presence.
I'm probably going to have to jump out of bed and call out to them. What are you? Who are you? What are you doing here?
I wake up Lief while we're doing that.
Lief suddenly gets shook awake very violently.
I just kick him. That seems like the
Just
fastest
kick him.
way. Yep.
What the wizard? What could possibly cause you to kick me in the middle of the night?
Women with wind powers that are like a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, you can tell your age. This happens all the time in the city. Random 7.8 women. And you're causing an issue out of it. I just roll back over.
As you roll back over, you see a Lief gently waft through the windless night and land perfectly on your nose.
I sneeze. Okay.
It flies up into the air and it lands perfectly again, balanced perfectly on your nose.
The thing that you should note, Lief, at this point in time, we are not in the city. If you're used to this in the city, we are at a crossroads in the middle of a hollow in the middle of the forest. So,
All right.
a little attention would be appreciated.
All right. I turn around to look where the three random women are.
You look over and once again you see these 7.8s. In your opinion, you could probably go for an 8.6, really. But
Low
you
standards.
see these three women now almost shocked and stepping closer to the edge of the forest, looking over at the three of you, hiding behind trees, trying to get a closer look. The leaves are still making their way around their bodies, around their forms.
Well, they're not normal women, are they? Obviously.
I've
If you
already
don't
called out to them and they haven't responded.
Why wouldn't you wake me up and say there's weird, witchy, weirdo women with flying leaves floating around them? Not, oh, hey, there's some random women in the forest. Like,
I said
Jesus,
wind and leaves and...
You got to be more specific, guys. Oh my god!
sorry.
I'm pulling out my book.
Once again, our hangover isn't your fault. Please, let's just try and be helpful.
It is when you wake me up at there's no sunlight, so it's well before time for me to be getting up. Is what I'm going to say.
Dawn. Dawn is what we regularly call it.
I pull out my book and I begin flicking through, looking for just scanning for words that describe what I'm seeing or any sort of pictures or anything like that.
Sure, make a nature check with advantage.
9.
9.
Yeah.
9. You see, all you see is the word dryad. And then every time you go to read the rest of the sentence, the book like scribbles itself out a bit and like goes very blurry. You kind of change the page, you go back to it, it goes perfect for a second and scribbles out again.
I grab my book by both halves of it, kind of hold it up in the air and go, look, I know you're f***ing tired. I'm tired too, but I need the information that's on the page. Please, book, please.
What
help
does
me.
your book say, Lief?
I wish it's not, to be honest, Charlidros, it's not cooperating with me at all very well.
Does it even know what these creatures could be?
It probably does. See, the thing about my book is it kind of has a mind of its own.
Really? That's a shocker.
I don't know if you've noticed yet.
I hadn't. He said sarcastically.
All I can see is the word dryad.
Do we know anything about dryads?
Do I know anything about dryads?
Both making a nature check.
A nature check.
Yes. So roll your d20 and add your
22.
Natural 20.
You both at the same time in a simultaneous brain blast. The information about dryads flows towards you. You know, these people generally dwell around set forest areas or clusters of trees, which they call their own. They generally are very docile creatures until you try to interfere with them or if you try and make them feel unsafe. But generally they show themselves to people they find are pleasant or of good fortune or have misery in their future.
That's not good.
Do you know something about dryads, do you two? I just see you sighing over there.
They're very nice and docile as long as you don't interfere with them or anything, but they normally just show themselves to people who are nice and happy and have misery in their future.
Well, we all know we have misery in our future, lads, so as long as we don't disturb them, I have no problem with them.
As long as the misery in our future is sort of limited to your hangover tomorrow morning, I also have no problem with them. But I'm a little concerned.
It's not a great...
It could be a bad omen for our upcoming
not a
adventure.
good sign.
Would you want to go ask them then, do you?
I've already called out to them and they didn't respond.
Well, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Feel free to walk up. You go walk up, will you?
At this time, actually, one of them steps past the edge of the forest, very tentatively, but very slowly, steps past and takes another step, and is now stood about halfway between the forest and you. She smiles very gently, very sweetly.
I start snacking on my nuts and go, Hey, Shamanazad, she wants to speak to you.
I'll sort of approach very slowly, gently, hands in a neutral position.
You walk forward, and as you do, she starts walking around you very slowly, almost looking at you and sizing you up a little bit at the same time. You
I'm fine with that.
You hear the whispers that slowly start to creep past you of Dragonborn. The slums. Dragon of the slums. That be you.
That be me indeed.
What's she saying?
She speaks of my past.
Good or bad?
We're just around this campfire. No need to yell.
Neutral at this point.
Well, she's whispering, you young...
Remember...
I can't hear her.
Remember...
Wizard?
We
that
can. We can hear you.
lives are forever in the balance. Even lives that you do not understand. Even though you may think those lives are gone.
What'd she say?
Lives are forever in the balance, even lives I think that are gone. I feel like she's alluding to Grant and friends and people that I didn't know in the Holy City.
Remember, those that you trust cannot always be trusted, but the reasons they do it are for their own. Be kind, Dragonborn. May you leave this forest and you will ever prosper. And at this point, she gently kisses you on the top of your nose. And then with the wind, her form and the other two dryads dissipate.
What'd she say?
They made mention to not being always able to trust those who I generally do. And that everyone acts or behaves for their own particular purpose.
Brilliant. Can we go back to sleep?
I guess.
It's probably not a terrible idea. Is your owl still
Yeah. He did the
sufficiently
job.
energized?
He's always sufficiently energized.
I get back into. I roll back over to
You
sleep.
go back to sleep. And the rest of your night, Lee is quite relaxing, except for Cornelius, who every now and then, randomly in his mind, he suddenly hears, "Idiot!" Dawn comes, and the horses are already ready for you, waiting. There is a couple cold sausages by the fire, and
You're welcome.
The dawn has already been well past.
Wait, we all wake up at the same time?
Yes, you do.
Wow, how convenient.
Andy?
What are the odds?
Slim
I
to none,
out,
I think.
I get out of bed, I point at the sun and go, look, an acceptable time to wake up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I will
guys?
not
An
wake you
acceptable-
up in the middle of the night again.
Well, don't wake me up if a druid just wants to speak about the
Dryad.
unforeseeable future and maybe future.
Have you been nice
Sorry, I got a
drinking?
leaf stuck in
Sleep
my throat
drinking?
or something. I wish I had. I tell you what, I wish I had. Right, who's ready to go? I walk over, grab a sausage, pick it up, stick it in my mouth, and head toward the horses.
Phrasing.
He jams that sausage in deep, takes a bite, and jumps onto his horse Cinnamon as they carries on into the day. You two quickly hurry. Pack up
It's
what's left of
east.
your things.
East we must go.
The horses already know. They already start trotting in the right direction.
I was telling Cornelius.
Great. Alright,
Are we going at a fast speed or like just a?
Faster than you would normally think for a horse. You arrive at a grand lodge, a house built out of red oak trees, perfectly crafted, all handmade. The wall is very sizable but open at the front for you to enter. There are men currently coming around, getting training, practicing with bows and swords and spears and weapons you've never seen before. You are at what you would presume is the Lodge of the Hunters.
The Hunters of Shadows. I knew it. This must be the Hunters of Shadows, gentlemen. Let's dismount.
Let's presume so. Who was we?
Oryx. We're looking for Oryx.
Oryx. Right. Cool. Well, do you want to split up? I'll head this way, you go that way, you go...
We could just start by asking this strapping young lad right here. First guy to come past us.
You can ask him. I'm going to walk straight into the building.
You walk straight into the building. You storm past and into the building. The two of you are currently left stood dumbfounded outside.
I would imagine they're not particularly happy about that.
How long before he's dead, do you reckon?
I think it's seconds as opposed to minutes.
Well, I follow in after him to make sure he doesn't die.
Quickly, Cornelius rushes past and kind of runs with this backpack, like swaying behind him, rushing through to the front doors. You see his backpack disappear.
I'm still intending to speak to these people outside. These practicing whatsits.
Yeah, you find a pair of swordsmen practicing quite close to you.
Gentlemen, I'm looking for one they call Oryx. Can you help me?
Oh, yeah, Oryx. Yeah, just help yourself, mate. Just walk right into the building, help yourself, walk right in, speak to Oryx. He should be in his chair.
Fantastic. I very much appreciate that. A military man myself, I didn't want to overstep any boundaries.
No worries. We are the friendliest bunch of blokes around. You walk right in. You might even be able to catch part of the breakfast buffet if it's still on.
Oh, I had cold sausages already, but
we love a good cold sausage, if you know what I mean.
You would at a boys' lodge in the middle of the forest, I imagine. But
you know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. How's your father? You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
A fireborn's belly can never be satiated. I leave these two and head inside.
Lief, you are first to see this great expansive lodge of...
I was going to say he's first to see the breakfast bar and he's already snacking.
There is to one side, there is a large... There is a large breakfast, there's a banquet table to one side that's filled with food. Men gathered around it eating it. There are different people walking back and forth doing different jobs around the place. People emptying buckets of whatever. You see a very busy place. And then you feel a slight bump into the back of you as you feel the human Cornelius kind of rush into the back of you without thinking.
Why'd you stop?
What do you mean what? Cornelius, you gotta learn to watch where you're going, especially if there's breakfast food happening. Well, I don't know about you, but one cold sausage, not the greatest thing I've had for breakfast. Dig in, lad. You know, like, it's a new morning. Just dig in.
Yeah, let's go into somebody else's place and steal their food. That sounds like a great idea.
It's not stealing. Do you know what this is?
No, I don't.
It's a hunter's lodge. It's just to be shared.
With the hunters, I'd assume.
I can be a hunter.
You could.
I am a hunter. Wink, wink. I give him a wink.
At this point...
Twice. You gave him a wink twice.
Twice, yeah.
Did he also say wink, wink?
He did also say wink, wink. And then pointed out that he winked twice. But Charlidros, you walk in now to see the two of them stood at the side of the buffet table, both grabbing a small plate.
Are you doing anything to aid us in this quest, or are you primarily focused on your...
Come here, army man. Come here. I put my finger like, come here. Come closer. Come closer.
I reluctantly make my way over to where I'm being beckoned.
I know that you're an army guy. You probably grew up in an army place. You're very strict rules.
I grew up in the slums of Silverkeep. We've been over this.
I honestly probably can't remember anything you said to me in the first 48 hours we was together because I didn't give any shits, to be honest. However, look, Hunter's Lodge, just blend in for a while. Have a plate, find a drink, start mingling with people. There's no need to rush straight in here and run to someone and ask them a question. They're going to think there's something wrong with you.
We were given 2 options. We could either speak to the Prytons in Gibton or exit the Hunter of Shadows, and we're trying to achieve both to hedge our bets. I feel like we can't just spend all of our time stealing these good folks' food.
Once again, not stealing, and you just don't know how to mingle. I like turn on my heel with my plate and head in the direction of... What do I see? What can I see if I look around?
You can see a couple guys with what looks to be some kind of ball designed for a beach walking outside. You see there's a little bar station to one side with looks to be lotions and hand towels and all your necessary needs. There's also, bows, arrows, swords. There's an armory. There's a small blacksmith that are shirtlessly hammering down on an anvil. There is a small half-elf sat on a giant throne. There is what looks to be a couple bookcases, a library.
I'm going to stop you there and say that wherever the half-elf that looks to be set on a giant throne is the direction I would like to head, please.
What's on the breakfast
Why did
buffet?
you say that?
Don't go and be helping with our quest.
I take my plate of food and I head towards the throne, whatever should be.
The hall opens up to a very wide room. In the very back of it, on a bit of a step, is a giant seat that looks to be carved out of the carcass of what looks to be possibly a dragon or some kind of very large animal's ribcage. You see various trophies of animal hunts and creatures slain displayed covenantly around the hall itself. As a small half-elf, very lean, with slicked-back blonde hair and a pink robe around him, lounges against the chair.
I'm just going to walk straight up to him. I just walk straight up to him. I want to get his... Can I walk straight up to him? Do I get stopped?
You can. There's
Fine.
nobody in front of you.
In front. All right, I'm just going to walk straight up and just kind of... Is he looking up? Where's he looking?
He's kind of just relaxing, lounging on the throne with his head against it, not really paying attention to much, just kicking his legs.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk straight up with my plate, kind of just still chowing down, and just say, "Morning."
Well, hello there. How are you today? As he looks over in your direction with a giant grin on his face.
I'm pretty good. Now...
Well, that's just fabulous, isn't it?
What is your name?
My name? Why my name is important to you? I do not understand, silly Billy. You introduce yourself first.
Alright, my name is Borix of Charmander, and I'm a hunter.
Well, that's a silly name. You're a bit of a cutie, aren't you? Bit of a cutie. You're a bit small for a hunter, though, aren't you?
You're probably a bit small to be sitting on that throne, but we're not here to argue stature.
Well, this nice throne is comfy, isn't it? Yes. Ha! Oh.
I'm quite fond of comfy chairs too.
Are you? That's
I am.
Chairs. Comfy chairs.
I am quite fond.
Honestly, the number one house decorators, normal forgotten motion. You have no idea how many houses I've been into without a comfy chair.
You wouldn't believe the last bar I was in.
Oh, no, mister. You need to tell me the name of that bar and we'll go sort them out.
Well, unfortunately, it was probably burned to bits.
Well, that's a bit hunky-dory, isn't it? Yes.
Anyway, first name basis?
Well, you lied to me about your first name, so I'm going to come up with a funny first name myself, aren't I?
I don't think I lied about my name at all.
My name is Snufflegrouth Marzipan.
I turn around and look to see where the other two are.
As you turn around, and the other two haven't quite noticed you walk into what seems to have been a small mountain.
Who walks into a mountain?
You just, well, at first you think it's a small mountain until you kind of, your hands grasp up and you feel like scarred muscle and flesh and very big, almost extremely big, as you kind of are head first in what you hope is a man's chest.
Man's chest has just spawned in front of me as I've turned around.
It hasn't spawned there. You probably just, as the other two of you noticed,
someone's walked into me. Okay.
Well, you've walked into somebody, as the other two have noticed this large half-orc with one missing tusk of a tooth stood behind him, very pale and grey-skinned, scar tissue most of his body and most of his head.
And he's quite tall.
And he's extremely tall, with a large great axe tied behind his back. Has stood behind you.
So I bump into him.
You do.
I kind of back up and look up and just kind of go, sorry, and kind of just pat him on his chest there as I back up. Sorry.
Colton, who is this?
Colton, that's your name, is it?
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Oryx. I was just shining up your throne, and this young man came on over to me, and we had a fabulous time.
Oryx! I like point up at him. I've been looking for you.
Oh, have you really?
I have.
At this point, he
indeed.
kind of like tilts his neck and like kind of. You hear a couple large clacks as bones kind of like crack.
Is this your place then, Oryx? Is it?
Too right, it is. This is my lodge.
You're a tall fuck. Are you on your way to sit down at your chair then?
Well, I was, but then it looked like there was a mess just in front of it. And I thought I'd come and clean it up.
By the mess, do you mean me?
Well, looks like we got a smart one here, boys. As a couple of men have kind of gathered around you and they start chuckling.
I look across and notice that Lief appears to be getting himself into some kind of trouble.
Correct.
And make my way into the middle of it.
You make your way over. You're now stood in between this mountain of a man, Oryx, and your companion, Lief.
I make my way over, but more to the side.
Oryx, we've been sent to find you.
I told him that, basically.
Yeah, but you're stealing his breakfast foods, so...
I am... Oryx? Who's your cook here?
My cook? Well, that would be Felicia. Felicia the chef.
I want you to give Felicia the biggest thanks because this has just been a great breakfast, I'm going to be honest.
Too right, it has.
Fantastic breakfast. You know, you hired well with Felicia. Good job there.
Yeah, there was this other cook, like this other tavern a while ago, and they said, bye, Felicia. And we said, hi, Felicia, and we welcomed her in.
It's always hi, Felicia. I completely understand.
I understand.
Oryx, could we possibly, me and my friends here, could we possibly sit down, enjoy this great food, and have a conversation with you?
Well, I'm not hungry. You seem to had your fill. And,
to be honest, it's quite good. I could eat some more. And I'm thirsty. Do you have a drink?
Tankard. This time a small, it's almost like half a barrel, holds it to his hand. He kind of peels the lid off with like one quick motion, holds it out, but clearly above your head, and tips it over you.
I kind of in shock for a second, but then I just think mouth and just start trying to grab what I can as it's coming down.
Your mouth feels, you slightly start to drown a little bit, so you quickly shake back.
I told you we shouldn't have eaten the food.
Oh no, you're perfectly welcome to have some food. But this one's got a mouth on him.
I've known him almost as long as you have. I'm aware of his mouth. We're here for more than just to steal your food.
Ah, I know what you're here for. A fight! And this time he claps his hands and stomps his foot at the same time. You all feel a small shift as the floor sinks below you. And kind of forms this circular arena almost of sorts with 2 pits of oil buried into the floor get revealed. 4 spike walls kind of protrude out of each side. You find yourself...
Fake Charizard! I was trying to have a conversation with the man.
I didn't do
You're nagging him. Look at him. Does he look like someone you want to nag on?
You had an entire tankard of beer poured upon you. I feel like you're the one that is...
tankard of beer poured on me versus lowered into an oil battle arena. Good job. You've got this. You have to deal with this now. If he wants to duel, it's on you. I don't want to participate. You can handle it.
I didn't expect you would participate anyway.
I have complete faith in you, and I walked to the edge or something. I walked to where Cornelius is.
Your sarcasm is noted.
You walk over and Cornelius kind of shuffles to the side to give you a hand up. At this time, about 20 spears get shoved in your face. I need you to make a dex saving throw for me, please. Cornelius.
Dexterity 13.
13. As you go to reach down, Cornelius, as you go to reach down to grab his hand, you feel a boot get gently placed on your behind. It just kind of nudge you into the actual arena. You fall forward doing like a small somersault and landing like kind of awkwardly but perfectly on your feet.
Can you believe one of those guys just kicked me in here?
I do believe it because you're associated with us actually, and you was my way out. But
right, tell me first before I kill you. Why are you here? As Oryx is crunching.
Yeah, you've got it. You handle it. Go ahead. Tell him why we're here.
In the first instance, we were invited in by some of your recruits outside, so I didn't expect this as we came to talk to you. I'm sorry if we have offended you in any way, but we were led here or directed here by the name forgotten.
V.
Who the F is that?
Lads, do you remember V's name?
Valakar.
I'm blanking on it. Valakar. We were directed here by Valakar. We're on a...
Who's that?
Lads.
He's like a... We were on a quest to go to the, to Last Man's Spire to get a magical staff, because that's cool and stuff.
What? You once going to the Spire? Did you hear that, fellas? He kind of like laughs. So you've come here for me to give you a hand with the Last Man's Spire.
Exactly. This guy's smart.
Exactly that.
Please?
Well, you beat me in the old 50 cuffs. I reckon I can take 3 at once. I'll give you a hand. At that, he raises his hand up. Out of nowhere comes spiraling a great axe. It is very well made. The blades of the great axe are not actually metal. It seems to be formed out of 2 giant tusks each side that have been sharpened and crafted. As he grabs it and pulls it down.
I expected fisticuffs would be fisticuffs, but if you're on with the axe, then I get out my whips.
You pull out your whips and he kind of
Motherfucker.
surprise crosses his face, and then all of a sudden it's replaced by confidence as he goes, I play with those for fun. and he charges forward. I will get everybody to roll initiative for me. Okay, as you rush into battle, Cornelius, you are the first person to react. What would you wish to do?
Do I get the impression they'd be angry if I use magic?
No, it seems to be no holds barred.
Cool. So how far away is he from us?
So he would be about 30 feet away. Oh, no, not 30 feet, sorry, 10 feet away. It's a very small, arena.
Okay, well, I get behind the other two and I cast... I cast Mage Armor on myself.
You cast Mage Armor on yourself? Sure thing. Okay, so you feel the rush of energy, the flow around you, forming this ethereal armor. Blue energy wraps around you, preparing to fight. Do you want to move or anything?
Behind the other two.
Behind the other two?
Oh, no,
You're
behind...
the furthest away.
behind. That's fine.
Yeah, you're the furthest away possible at the minute. Leaf, it's your turn.
Are the spiky ones... are they pointing actually inwards?
Yes, they're pointing inwards too. They're giant walls of block and then a wall of spikes.
Okay, well, I want to move in front of the spikes that are furthest away from me. There.
These ones?
No, that one, yeah.
That one?
You want to move in front of there, and then just kind of yell at him, "Hey, dumb fuck!" And then I want to prepare to dodge out of the way if he charges at me.
Sure. Okay. I'm going to get you to make, just for that, just make a intimidation roll for me.
16.
16?
Yes.
You see this look of confusion as he looks over to you quickly get replaced with pure rage as he stares at you. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah. I'm just standing there,
And
brace,
you
ready.
Prepare the dodge action?
Yeah.
Right, so then it's his turn as he charges on over to you. Full pelt of steam charges on up. I'm going to get you to roll a dexterity check for me. I'm doing this specially. I'm going to do this special.
11.
He brings down his axe, striking you, but at the same time ripping his arm into the spikes, dealing 8 damage to him.
See that, guys? Smarts.
As you start bragging, you feel the back of his axe hit into your side. As you do, you feel the back of the blade hit you in the side, dealing 5 damage to you.
Oh, well, we're still smart. Still smart, just still that smart. That was smart, but that's smart. You know what
Okay,
I'm
that's
saying?
the end of his turn. Charlidros, it's your turn, sir.
I'm a YOLO the out of it, and I'm gonna have to run up behind him and take 2 big, long slashing whips into his back.
Yep, you run up, and as you unravel your whips, you spin them into a fury. You go down to lay them into his back. Because he's so distracted, you get advantage on these hits. So roll the d20 twice, take the highest number.
So my first one is 20. 16.
Will be a hit on both. Roll your damage.
5 and 7.
You see, you open up large gashes across his back. As you hear, "Ah!" as he cuts in and roars with rage, dealing a decent amount of damage to him with your attack. Would you like to do anything else?
I'm gonna sort of leap across to the other side of the pit in the hopes that I have attracted his attention away from the other two and towards me.
So you want to leap to here somewhere?
Please, yeah.
You manage to you leap over. You manage to keep, with some lucky way, you manage to keep the tip of your tail out of the burning hot oil in the pit below.
Oh, it's oil. I thought it was spikes.
No,
the spikes are on the
burning
wall.
Hot oil
Sorry.
spikes are on the wall. As that is the end of your turn,
Oh,
Cornelius.
that
you
could
are
have gone badly.
So if he gets pushed, if I use a spell that pushes him back 10 feet, would he go into the oil or?
He would indeed.
Great. So I move over a little bit, so I'm in line with him, so he'll move back that way.
You move between him and the oil pit.
No.
Oh, no, but with him between you and the oil pit.
And then I'll cast Thunder Wave. And I sculpt a spell so Lief isn't affected by it.
So you managed to you pull down your staff and you actually hit it against the floor, creating these energy waves. Lief, as you see the energy waves flying towards you, they kind of shift and mold around you into a protective cocoon almost.
I put my hands up and I'm like, oh, God.
As the energy waves hit him, the half-orc digs in his heels and slams down the axe and braces against it, not moving a muscle. You still get to do your damage though. He just takes half. As you still see the sound waves cut into his skin, but he does not move an inch.
Oh, crap.
I can move next to the next to the pit, opposite me, go around him.
Go around him. So you want to go here?
No, up further, further away. Yeah.
That one? Yep, he will get a chance to attack you.
Yep.
As you dash around him, he swings out with his great axe at you and completely misses as you kind of Matrix style slide underneath the blade swing and keep running and stop yourself just before the pit.
I turn around, I cast Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Blast.
You couldn't have ruined that word.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Look, I had a whole keg of something poured on me.
You hear him yell out what you might think was Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
As Eldritch Blast. Roll your attack.
4.
You send the blast flying from your hand. The two of you see this purpley energy matter ball just fly through, smack him in the chest, continuing to shred his skin more, providing new cuts over the old flesh wound, over the old scar tissue. As he kind of steps back but keeps on his position, very shocked by the damage that was inflicted upon him. His turn, as he turns, rights himself, and then looks over at this puny wizard.
Nice.
You see him go almost very red in the face. His skin kind of collects together as he puts his whole force and energy behind this attack, giving him advantage on the attack. So altogether, that'll be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Which I'm pretty sure that hits an Ashley. So one Ashley takes 7 damage as the armor dissipates around the strike, reforming as soon as it hits. But you feel the blade cut against your skin, dealing that 7 damage to you.
I'm going with the safe option and walking around the pit of oil, behind him to go again for the double lash.
Yep, do it again. Roll twice for each one. And with that, he drops to one knee, spits out blood out of his mouth. I've not had a scrap in a long time as good as that one, my boys.
Oh, good to know.
He slaps you on the back.
I put my whips away and give him an old double slap on the back, and grab him by one shoulder.
He's you've got a bit of a stretch to get to him, but you've got him. Oh, well done, my boys. Let us go. Come on, let's drink and be merry. He stomps his foot on the floor.
Oh, I'm so glad you said drink. In a fucking cup, please, Oryx.
Floor rises up. And meets and goes back to normal. He kind of limps with you back, offers you a chair to one side, Charlidros, and then sits on the throne. The wounds on him almost seem to heal up by themselves slowly, as he sits down. Bring on the beverages! As this time, a tankard of ale is placed in front of you, Charlidros, placed in front of you, Cornelius. And then you leave a single large glass of clear liquid is placed in front of you.
What the f*** is this?
That's exactly what you need, my boy!
What is it?
Well, drink it and find out.
I take a sip.
It is clear, refreshing water. H2O.
This is f***ed. Oryx, I'm hurting here. You just stuck a f***ing axe into my back and you have the nerve to give me f***ing water?
You made me run into spikes. Your mate hit me with dragon head whips. Your friend tried to push me in hot oil. You hit me with some kind of purple magic.
But, Oryx, who started the fight?
The trash that was sitting in front of my throne.
Well, that's your servant, and you put him there to clean your chair, I heard.
How dare you, sir?
Shut up.
He was
I was trying to
talking
be
about
nice.
you.
Shush, everyone, shut
was-
up. I was having a nice
Lief,
morning.
Lief.
I was eating some food,
Lief.
and now I've got no grog. I've got a wound on my back. I had a great breakfast. I can't even get some food. Who's sitting next to me?
Leaf, concede, drink the
Cornelius.
water, then I'm
Cornelius.
sure you
I
will
grab
I
grab Cornelius's drink and just start sculling it.
I strike it out of his hand. Am I close enough to do that?
You don't need to, because as it does, Cornelius, he grabs it, starts drinking it. The quick, sweet honey and nectar taste of ale does not hit your lips.
What?
Cold, splashing water drips out of the tankard and into your mouth. The glass that was originally sat in front of you has been pushed to one side and placed in front of Cornelius, frothing with ale.
I slam the glass down.
A half elf is snickering to one side of you.
I slam it down and go, I hate magic. I can do magic. I magic. Oi! Shut up. And I just death staring.
At that, he death stares you back. The sassiest death stare and walk combination you've ever had. Walks past, looks at Cornelius and goes, "Now, darling, I see you got a bit lashed up in that one. May I please mend your wounds for you,
that'd
my
be
love?"
awesome. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you so much. You are so strong. You were so brave in that fight
Thank you.
at that time.
I thought so.
The half elf places a hand on your wound, and suddenly you feel the flow of magic is like the wound like knits itself back to and gives you back your full health and any damage you receive.
Awesome.
It's
How
gone.
did you do that?
Well, you know, being a bit of a druid has its perks. You know, you get all the woodland creatures and cuddlies around you.
That's fascinating.
Yes, it is.
What's your problem with this guy, Leaf?
I have no problem. I have no problem with anyone. I had no problem with anyone here until I started getting hit with axes, and I started getting my food taken away, and I started receiving water instead of
Honey, do you need your wounds healed up? I see you've got a boo-boo or two.
Actually, I do.
Okay, give me just a second. And then rubs his hands together. And then magically in his hands forms some white bandages that he drops in your lap and walks away.
I hate you all. I hate you
Those
all.
are good quality
Cornelius,
bandages.
Cornelius,
Now, my friends,
I'm out.
what are we here for? How can I be of a service? Something about the spire.
Oryx, that was quite the spa, and I really appreciate getting a stretch of the legs after the day's ride we have had. We're out to collect a staff that is held in the spire, and I'm told you might be able to help us.
Well, yeah, we'd be able to get those witch bitches out of there. Like, we love to do it. We've tried a couple times. One of my best men just tried last week.
Why is it your men have not been successful as yet?
The witches also seem to have always a leg up. They have small armies of minions around. They have brought together a powerful coven. When they're on their own turf, they are buggers to kill.
When they're on their own turf.
They formed it for how they like. They know all the secret passages. They know how to hide. It's
Do you have any ideas how we might fight them off their own turf?
well.
Have you tried to get them out of the spire?
They're not dumb enough to do that. They don't go running into things that'll possibly kill them. Oh, should learn to be a witch, eh? Anyway, now, what I can offer you, because I presume you're here to ask for my help.
We certainly are, good sir.
You do me a favour when you're in there, and I will create a diversion and a distraction for you, at the front of the spire to get the major parts of their forces out.
What is it you need?
I mentioned to you earlier one of my best hunters went in there last week. He is a tough son of a bitch. So, I would like you to go save my best friend Rurdak.
Rurdak.
Rurdak, yes. The hill dwarf thought he could take on the place by himself.
That's crazy.
You're telling me. I am the sanest person he knows, and he wouldn't listen to me.
Dwarves.
I know, almost as bad as crazy house elves. Sorry, Carlton.
House elves.
House elves? I meant half elves.
Dobby over here.
I call him a house elf because sometimes he hangs around the house a lot. He doesn't do much. We just keep him here for the perks.
Likes to polish your handles.
Makes a mean sex on the beach, though. And the drink, too.
I don't get that reference.
Oh, this Hunter's Lodge. You shouldn't. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Auric, are you able to tell us anything of the Prytons and where we might find, I believe, the town of Gimpton?
Oh, Gipton, yeah, that's just to the west over the ridge. It'll take you about a couple hours to get there. The Prytons. Yeah, they came to us when it originally got but we couldn't help them then.
When what originally got Sorry?
The Spire.
Ah.
This place has been around for years in the note-taking. And so, the new Pryton that's currently lived there, he's a bit of a queer fellow, a bit of an odd one. But if you find him to the south of their town in a little house, you should be able to drum up a good bargain.
How do we need to let you know when we're ready for your distraction at the Spire?
Well, darling, just sing a little bird tune and we'll be ready.
Will an owl
Carlton's
tune suffice?
Can I meet the owl? I'd love to get to know somebody before.
Cornelius, bring old
I make Benedict appear.
bendy wings out. Yeah.
Benedict appears, wings out, almost like being fabulous and being like just presenting. He like flies down and perches on the edge. Oh my god, he is such a little darling! Oh my goodness, look at his little wings. And Carlton then proceeds to make sure the feathers are okay and has a good weird chat with little chirping noises himself with the owl.
Fantastic. Now the two of you are acquainted, and as are we, we'll be on our way if that's all right. Unless it's the time of day for a rest, and we should stay here for a bit.
Well, you got no time like the present. Get the fuck there and do your job! Oh, you funny bugger dragonborn, taking a rest after a petty squabble. You should be ready for 20 more of those.
I am.
That you
I was checking with the team.
Yeah, we can go.
They appeared to say nothing. We should head out and get back on our horses.
I've just been scribbling in my book the entire time they've been talking.
As you're walking out, the crowd gathers to see you off. I'll get you to make a perception check. Just Lief.
13.
13. You feel gently a small hand is placed on your back as like a brushing motion almost, and you feel your wound completely close and heal.
I just note it, know what it probably is, and just keep walking.
Just keep walking?
It is west. We must go to Gimpton.
I'm sure these horses will know.
Yes.
That's a fair point. They seem to be pretty good.
Like magical or something.
I just jump on Cinnamon.
You jump on Cinnamon and you ride off.
Yep.
I'll jump on Roach and follow him.
I don't know if your horse was actually named Roach, but
I don't know what name it had, but I'm calling it Roach
you
now.
have named him Roach.
okay.
I'm calling every horse Roach.
Oh, you're doing that trick.
No, I just get on Nutmeg and we go.
Nutmeg.
Gently brush nutmegs as you fly off into the wind.
Well, you've got cinnamon. Cinnamon and nutmeg kind of makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Cinnamon, nutmeg, and roach.
Roach.
Yeah.
You ride forward. The horses go much faster this time after a rest. The world blurs into a green swirl around you as you stop all of a sudden outside a small shack. The town seems to be just to your left, just down a small hill. But you're positioned outside of a small yet regal-looking shack.
Do we have like a game plan or something before we go in?
Honestly, if there's booze or food or anything in there, I'm down for it. And I'm currently not in the mood to meet new people because the last lot annoyed me. So
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intrigued by this little shack.
all right, well, I'm going to get off my horse and start walking towards the shack.
You walk forward into the small shack with the small bit of garden around it. The door has a giant golden door knocker. It's like they've put glitter on a turd. This house is summarized by putting glitter on a turd. Like it's a crappy ramshackle shack, but it's
Can I
got
see
some
a
little.
door?
Pardon?
Can I see a door?
You can. Like there's a door with a big
there's
golden.
a door with a
big
golden knocker.
golden knocker
I
on the
run
front
up
of
and
it.
grab the knocker, and I relatively gently knock her on the door, expecting that the door will fall over if I actually put.
As
any
you knock,
effort in.
you can honestly feel how fragile the knocker is. As you hear some ruffling around it. Just a moment. As the door swings open. Why, hello there. Welcome to the Brighton residence. As a very young man, slender, dressed in a small jacket, opens the door and kind of bows his head with a very upper-standing member of society. Yes, righto. How can we be of service here at the Brightons?
I walk up next to Charlidros and I tap him on the shoulder and go, "Isn't that handy? The horse has stopped right at the Brightons."
Hello there. I am Winifred, the long-standing butler of Lord Brighton himself.
Is Lord Brighton in today?
Why, yes, he is currently in his smoking parlour.
Does he take guests unannounced?
Right this way.
Thank you very much. I just begin following him inside.
Can I do an insight check?
Did you into this insight
Yeah.
check? Okay,
If he's
sure.
like genuine or not, or if he's like
Yeah, sure.
20.
20. You can tell the voice is put on. You can tell it's very odd. He honestly wants you to bring you in and to meet Lord Brighton, but there's something a bit weird going on here.
I just look at him strangely and follow.
Walk away. You're just in a small, dingy room with very nice furniture. Very the chairs look like in their prime or when they were first created, they would have been the comfiest chairs. But they've got like cushion missing out of it. Like they're stitched up and patched together. They're missing sections. Please take a seat, and I shall grab the Lord for you.
Which way did those guys enter the house?
Through the door.
Through the door, and which way then?
Right.
I turn left.
Turn left. There's no left.
I go
There's
straight.
there's a wall. Straight in front of you, you see an old, dank, dirty kitchen.
Go and have a quick squiz in the kitchen.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
That's a natural 20.
You find a small pile of dishes. You find a lump of cheese. You find a collection of sausages with a loaf of bread sat next to it. You find what looks to be a small house of a small hole for a little mouse has come out about. You find a very untidy, unkept kitchen.
Is there opportunity for me to walk through the kitchen to where everybody else is?
Yes, there is. Yeah, because it knows you enter through a different door.
Okay, I'll join them and remark on How this isn't much of a house for a lord.
The Lord's stately home is currently under repair. We are currently in his holiday home. Please allow me to go get the Lord and tell him of your presence.
I thought you'd already left, and I was remarking that to my friends as opposed to
No,
our host.
I was stood here waiting for your arrival.
Oh, fantastic.
So the butler
observant.
walks away.
Just as that point, the butler walks away. From the door that you guys had, you Lief and Cornelius had entered from, comes another man in a red jacket with his hair kind of rustled to one side. Hello, my name is Lord Brighton. At your services.
Hello, Lord Brighton. How are you today?
I am fantastic, good boy. Thank you very much. I have not seen Winifred since some time. Did you know where he went?
Your kitchen, I think?
Right, I will be with you in just a second. Be right back. And
Okay.
he walks
Could I
in.
roll a
The same
perception
moment-
check? Is it the same guy?
Roll with advantage.
22.
22. Same man. Ruffled up hair. Different coloured jacket.
I nudge Leaf with my elbow and I go, I'm pretty sure that's the same guy.
At this point, all of a sudden, a little out of breath, Winifred walks back in the room, hair smothered down quickly, a little bit of sweat on his brow. I am sorry. I cannot find the Lord at the moment. He may be walking the gardens.
Can you just go check out the gardens for us then? We really want to speak to the Lord.
Excellent. I will go check the gardens for the Lord.
As he walks away, I wanna like answer Cornelius back, and I kind of just go, I know, it's great, isn't it?
As at this point, more sweat dripping out his hair is now ruffled in a red jacket. Oh, I say, that Winifred has gotten away from us again. Well, may we sit and relax and discuss what you have come calling for.
Do you have
We certainly
do you have
haven't come
something
for a
to
Winifred.
drink? Do you have something to drink, sir? Before we chat, I like to have a chat over a drink.
Looking slightly annoyed. Yes, of course. I will grab Winifred for you and
Thank
see
you.
if he can provide us with refreshments.
Thank you.
You now hear the footfalls of the man rushing around the house, around into the kitchen you once saw Rebecca. Yes, the master found me in the gardens looking for him. He said you would like some refreshments.
We would love some refreshments. What do you have? Do you have an alcoholic beverage?
I would have to check with the Lord to see if he could have some of your private stash.
Please do. That would be great.
Excellent. I will go find my Lord.
Thank you.
There's no need to bring the Lord back in here to discuss this. You're welcome to discuss
He's
with
gone
the
at this
Lord.
point and back in a red jacket. Oh, I say, I cannot find that Winifred came to discuss with me. You needed a beverage.
Yep. Please.
Well, we do not have any of my stores left in this holiday home. It is such a shame.
I just stand up and go, right, well, this was a waste of time, then let's go.
Do you not have any of your magical tea left that you can drink
you have
to
a
satiate
flask?
your need?
I do, but I'm saving it.
Winifred or Lord or...
I am clearly the Lord. Winifred looks much different to I. He prefers to keep his hair straight and crisp and proper and wears a black jacket of sorts.
I was gonna say I apologize. I noticed the difference in hair. And
Here's what I want to do. I want to while he's standing there talking, I want to walk into the opposite room, and I want to walk into the kitchen, and I want to use my mask of many faces to pretend to be whatever the that one he is. That he's like.
You find a black jacket slung on the floor. You put on your mask of many faces to disguise yourself perfectly as the same gentleman, but with the right figure, and you place the black jacket on.
Yeah. I walk back into the room and just kind of stand next to which one am I?
You're Winifred.
Winifred.
I'm
You're
Winifred?
Winifred.
No helping him. No helping him. This is unless you two just whispered. You're Winifred.
No,
You're
we don't.
Winifred, I whispered to
Oh,
him.
Winifred!
as-
What a
no.
surprise to see you.
You see Winifred walk back in the direction.
And the Lord at the same time.
And he faints.
Oh, for sake.
I was sure it was the same person, but clearly it's not the same person. I
just turn around and go,
apologize.
oh dear, lads, you've made him faint.
Has he got a health condition or something?
He actually does.
Oh no! I roll.
Oh, I'm going to have to call the city guards. There may have been a murder here.
That is unnecessary. That definitely hasn't been a murder.
No, you two are going to have to stay here.
I roll a perception check
I'm
to see
going
if
to
he's
have
okay.
to get the city guards.
Yep, you roll a perception check. 14. He's fine. He's breathing.
He's fine. He's breathing.
Oh! You're lucky then.
Winifred, our good friend, Lief, I'm not entirely sure where he went, was after
I
a
passed
drink.
him on the way out and he headed into town on his horse.
That does sound
I
like him.
prefer that he didn't. I expect that you have something to drink and that hopefully he will make his way back, and it would be nice if we could have him a beer ready when he returns.
I walk back into the kitchen and take off the coat and walk back in as Lief.
You walk back in this Lief.
I could not find sweet these guys.
Hey, can you believe Winifred and this guy not the same person?
Oh yeah, what
just
happened to
came
him? And I pointed at the.
I don't know. He
pointed
just
him
sort
on
of
the ground.
fainted.
Is he dead? Did you kill him, Charlidros? Did you kill him?
I didn't touch him. Why are you blaming me? I've been trying to find a drink for you to.
What happened?
You in
He
the
just sort of
corner, be
fainted.
quiet.
He wakes up as he seems startled. What happened here?
It appears you passed out, my lord.
Oh, I say, I don't know what happened to me.
Oh, neither do we. Are you feeling all right?
Yes, I am fine.
Well, we were hoping that you might be able to help us. We've been sent to reclaim the staff atop the spire. I believe that has some
Significance.
familial significance to
Well,
you.
that is my family home.
The spire is your home.
Yes, it used to be. A century ago now.
Is this the holiday home?
This is the holiday home. That's the old.
This is the
As
holiday
compared
home.
to the regular house?
Yes. This is where we holidayed.
So you've been on
But you
permanent
live here
holiday.
full time now.
Well, we're on an extended holiday currently.
Okay. Good to ascertain that.
Is there like what are we sitting on?
Well, there's like crappy furniture.
This is
it's
crappy
Like,
furniture.
it's like fancy but crappy at the same
I
time.
like walk up to him and just kind of pull him down and sit him in. I want to sit him into a seat and just go, look, cut the crap. It was funny for a while, but we know you're the two people.
What? I'm confused. I saw them both in the same room at the same time. They clearly can't be two people. Sorry, Lief, but you disappeared somewhere for a second, but it happened, didn't it, Chara?
That was me, you dickhead. I was just with you, and it was quite funny, to be honest.
That makes a lot of sense.
That sounds exactly like something you would do.
It is something I would do because I just did it, and boy, did I get a laugh off the look of you two chaps' faces. Now, this guy has been changing uniforms the entire time we've been here, and at first it was quite funny. I found it quite funny. However, anyone who's not dumb as shit gonna walk into a house that looks like it's made out of sticks and stones with some guy claiming to be a lord. Came in for a laugh. and the jig's up. All right, come on, Brighton.
How dare you, sir? If I was in my home...
Sit the
and it
f***
was
down,
not-
Brighton.
Okay.
We are here to help you get rid of the witches from your home.
Okay.
Take the
yes.
staff, and then maybe you can have it back once we leave.
And you can stop living in this place playing William Bateman with your outfits.
Dr.
William
Jekyll
Watson?
and Mr. Hyde.
What? Weckle and what's the Harley?
Old wives' tales we've heard from back in our
I don't know.
towns.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, never
Was
heard
that
of
two
that one.
The
people?
operatic phantom? You come from some dark places.
We actually do. Now, do you have any significant information about your f***ing homeland? The pie...
Suppose I can talk in my normal voice now. Okay. Well, there's a book over there. I suppose you could have that.
Cornelius...
Who's
Books.
the best reader? Yeah.
I like point at Cornelius and flick my
the
fingers
book.
and say, like, go get the book.
You see a large, red leather-bound book with gilded golden writing. It seems to be a family history of the Prytons and their family home, the Last Spy.
I only passingly listen to the rest of the conversation. I just start reading.
Do you have anything else? Your lordship?
Well, with a bit of a renovation fund, I could discuss with you the location of the secret family vault.
Are you seriously trying to get us to give you money to help clear your place so you can go home?
No, it's just a renovation fund for my holiday home here, and I will provide you the secrets to my family vault.
How much are you talking?
Let's say 150 gold.
Help the man with what he needs. I'm sure we will come across enough to repay you on our travels.
Does this guy seems dumb, right?
He does.
You
did say that out loud, did you?
No, I didn't say that out loud.
No, we whispered that to one another.
No, I'm just thinking. I'm speaking
Okay.
out. I'm just going thinking out loud. We step into the kitchen and I say, I want to give him, or I don't want to give him the amount of money he wants. We can give him some gold, but I think he's thick enough to believe a smaller sack is enough.
Have I found anything interesting in this book yet?
There is a map of the ground.
Does it include a map of where the secret vault is?
It doesn't. It does include a secret passageway into the house.
Which
Goes
house?
From
Spire?
The spire. So it seems to go from a graveyard into the Great Hall.
I say, how much money do you have, Charlidros?
I've got 190 gold pieces.
You give me 50, I'll take 50, we'll put him into a pouch, we'll give him 100. It'll feel heavy enough to trick him. I think he's thick enough.
I don't think he knows really what gold is, so I tend to agree. Let's do it.
Can we search around the kitchen for something that we can put the 50 each into?
Yeah, there's a small black sack.
Sure. We put 50 each into the black sack, I
50
suppose.
each, so mark off 50 each.
And I'll take it back into him.
He's now got a small table in front of him. He's moved and has opened up some sheets of parchment and a couple knickknacks on it in front of him.
Couple of knickknacks.
Is he in? What are the knickknacks?
They're just little cups, there's a deck of cards.
What's the parchment?
There's just blank parchment that looks like he scribbled on every now and then, but it doesn't look anything important.
What is this?
Oh, I thought I'd put together one of my games while we waited.
What is the game?
What are
it's
we
a game of
waiting
chance.
for?
I like chance.
Game of chance where I will pop down my own bag of 100 gold that I have, and you put your bag of 200 gold down. We put them into my cups. If you pick which one is left, then you can, you pick the right cup. There's only going to be 2 cups. You pick the one, you get the bag that's underneath.
I'll play this game.
Excellent. Very good. Very good.
Can't lose. I said to myself.
pops a bag in his thing, and then pops a bag down. And he offers you a cup to pop yours into.
Yeah, I put it under the cup
Put it down.
or whatever.
He tips it over and starts spinning it around, spiraling in his hands.
I
His
track
hands
it.
move really creakily. I'm going to make you make a perception check.
I'm paying high attention.
He fumbles every now and then and almost drops one of the cups and keeps going, spinning around. It looks very awkward while doing this. You manage to keep perfect attention because he's not very good. You manage to keep perfect attention of exactly where your bag is. And then he stops the cup and, well, player's choice.
So I know exactly where my one is and his
Yes. Yes.
one. My one was 100, his was
100.
100.
100. Yep.
I think really hard about it.
Yep.
Pretending.
Yep. Oh, I've got you with this one. I know.
I'm gonna take this one and I go to where his is.
You pick that one? Oh. Sorry, I mean, yes, you can have that one. Yes.
I don't know what you're so excited about. I
No reason.
pick up the gold and
You pick up the patch, yeah? You
just have to weigh it in my hand,
Yep.
kinda.
weighs perfectly the same. Weighs exactly as like your.
I
bag of
act
gold.
like it's a lot less.
Yep.
I go, oh, I think this one's yours.
Oh, it is. I got you with that one.
Well, fair's game, sir. You can.
Yes.
You've-
I will give you your information, and you can use your 100 gold to win for the night.
Yeah. Disappointing, but I'm happy to have the knowledge.
You are. In my father's library, you will open the book of the Ballerina's Tale, my favorite childhood story, and you will find the vault within.
Where's the library?
Cornelius, you know exactly where the library is based on the maps.
Cool.
It's up second floor. It's not too hard to get to from the Great Hall.
Cornelius, have you found anything helpful in that book?
There's a map. That's helpful, right?
Does it say where a library is?
Yeah, there's a library on the second floor. Is there anything else in the book about maybe the witches and how they took over the keep?
There's a lot of in the book. You're probably going to have to take a couple hours to read it. Yeah.
I just walk out. I got no time for this guy.
It was very nice to meet you. And then I walk out as well.
I suppose we've stolen his book, have we?
Yep. Oh, I'm taking this, by the way.
Yes, have it. I've got my pay.
You've been incredibly helpful, and this is very much appreciated. I'm not saying we'll seek compensation if we do manage to banish the witches from the spire, but we expect to see you in the future.
Yes, very, very much Charmeleazon.
Appreciate it. Busting the move back out onto the horse.
You must move. As you walk out, you roll a perception check for me.
Who, me?
Yep.
20.
20. You hear the words, a little bit of a different voice this time. Good luck at the Abbey.
What was that?
There's nobody left in the room.
I'm gonna head outside and meet with the guys.
You are all stood outside.
So what was the thing
I
with the
think,
cups? I wasn't really paying attention.
I'll tell you what, Cornelius, and I'll tell you right now. so you learn a
Don't tell him now. Don't tell him now, because old douchebag McGee inside is going to hear us. I don't doubt. We should get on our horses, continue toward the spire, and then we can discuss.
Oh, I just whisper, he got and I get on my horse and say, let's go, Cinnamon.
You get on your horse and you ride towards the destination of the spire. The horses start leading you into a direction. About halfway into the ride, Lief, you feel, as the sun sets over the sky, you feel the book rattling around in your bag.
I say, oh, so now you want to be restless, and I like reach around to my back and
And you grab it out.
Yeah.
It flies open to a page, and in gilded writing, it says, "Check the bag, idiot."
I sigh and I reach back and I just fiddle around looking for something that's odd or not supposed to be there.
So not the page then reach out, not that bag, the coin purse you stole, and in stole is quotation marks.
I open the coin purse.
You open the coin purse, you find golden coins, but instead of the fine gold you're used to and your eyes quickly match to it, these coins are finely painted rocks. Just ordinary rocks. You can see the gold like chip away from them. And embossed on one side of each coin is the smiling face of one lord you just walked away from.
I just like sigh and I like laugh and go, well, and I just think to myself, well played. And I chuck them in my backpack.
You chuck them in your backpack.
Can I get my 50 coins back? Remember how we both put 50 coins in and we should both expect 50 coins back?
Yeah, well, we got...
What do you mean?
And then we got... These aren't real gold.
What do you mean they're not real gold?
They're coins with smiling faces on them. It's pretty good. For a dumb guy. Pretty good.
Like chocolate coins? Or
No, just like,
what
I
are
don't
you
know,
on
like
about?
bronze, wooden. I don't really know. Either way, you're out 50, I'm out 50. Nah, f- it. We was willing to lose 50 each to begin with.
This is true.
We was just going to give him 100 and just be done with it. We played the silly game. Now I've got some smiling coins.
You also both go to check your coin purses. You're also missing probably an extra 50 each.
I got nothing. I just lean back on my horse, close my eyes, settle in for the ride.
And with that, you hear a laugh on the wind as you ride off into the night. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why my coin purse stays on my hip at all times. If I were you, I would not get into gambling with random strangers, especially if that stranger's me. Our adventurers now continue on to the Last Man's Spire, to dive deep into its catacombs and to travel through finding the truth of their quest. Many mysteries still lie before us. The only thing we can do is come back next week for the Tales of Theldan to begin again.
The Tales of Theldan is an Explosion Network production. Written by Kieran Marchant, world and scenario by Kieran Marchant, played using 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Sound mixing and post-production by Dylan Blight. Music and sound effects resources available at explosionnetwork.com. Cast of characters: Dylan Blight as Lief Estelle, Ashley Hobley as Cornelius Bannister, Thomas Marshall as Charlidros, with Kieran Marchant as the Dungeon Master.